Hi.
Hey, you guys are kind of big celebrities now, but you used to be regular people, like us regular people.
I mean, I didn't want to say it.
I was wondering what the biggest adjustment was from being an actor who is famous to coming into the Supernatural fandom that is such a huge family.
What? What are you talking about?
Before you joined Supernatural.
Well, I was not famous before I joined Supernatural, and arguably I'm borderline famous now. But so what? So I mean, this show is what got me any kind of notoriety at all.
You were in Charmed.
Infamy. I was in charge?
Charmed.
I was like, you were in charge? I suppose, of my own little life.
Hi.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming.
That's what she said. I always wondered how you guys deal with the loss of your anonymity out there. I mean, you're phenomenal actors, and now everybody recognizes you. And I'm sure most of your life you didn't have to deal with that. So.
No, I've always been well recognized. Because people thought I looked like Alex Calvert. They you know, we are, I mean, so the show has been on, I'm not sure if you're aware, but it's been on for some time. And for the first long time, for the first maybe 7 years that I was on the show, I mean, I would get recognized, but it would be like once a day or something like that when I was out and about. It wasn't a big deal. And it's still, by the way, I mean, it's more now because people watch it on Netflix, and you know, it's just been around for so long that it's, you know, a lot of people just come across it at some point. But I'm still basically just like, you know, having a normal life most of the time, and it's great because the show, you know, has. I mean, when we're on the air on the CW, I think we get like 1 million viewers or something like that. You know, there are shows that have 15 million viewers. So we're this like little cult niche.
Yeah, but we're passionate. Yeah.
So here's the thing. Hold on. So we go about our lives, we have normal lives, and then we get to come to a fan convention where there's a concentration of the most passionate fans. And for a few hours, we get to feel like we're important celebrities. We get a very healthy boost to our egos. People come up and say things like, I love you, and you're like, yeah, of course you do. And then you go home and you get peed on by your child. So I think it's a perfect balance on this show. It's just right. Thank you.
I think it's also amazing. I remember the first time I went, I brought a friend of mine. I'm like, I don't know what it is. It's a convention, but just for this show. And he's like, I'm like, do you want to check it out? And he's like, yeah. And we went, and it was like everybody knew me from the show. And I was like, I remember doing it and being like, oh, this is what Tom Cruise feels like all the time. Like, Tom Cruise walks down the street and you know his stuff.
You know, and on a note like that, on a similar note like that, like, you and I are journeyman actors who just sort of, you know, we do our jobs and then we go on with life. And so we're not these, you know, except outside of this circle,
right.
We're not these vastly famous people. So it's like, and it's not, personally for me, that's not what I set
out. That's not what you got in for it.
Right, I love the craft of acting and all that stuff, but to have that in this community is really something like makes you go, wow, this is something special.
Well, to do a part that where you see reflected in other people that they enjoyed it, like and getting that feedback. Whereas otherwise, usually you do a show and then maybe your friends say, "Hey, good job," but then that's kind of all you ever hear. You don't know how it affected people or whatnot. Do you ever? Do you ever have that where you leave a weekend here and then go out into the real world and you're still operating like you're super famous? And you're like walking walking down the street, like you're ordering something, somebody makes eye contact with you, you're like, yeah. Did you want to take a picture? No. That's all right. You probably shouldn't take pictures.
Yeah, the waiter comes in.
Who the fuck are you?
They give you your credit card, and you're like, who should I make this out to?
Or they do that joke where they're like, hey, can I get your autograph? I'm like, of course you can.
So yeah, it's made us really pompous.
Yeah, it's fed an ego. It's very disappointing elsewhere. Your family won't even come to your Q&A. Hello.
So, I'm from the Bay Area in California,
Oh, cool. Where?
San Jose,
Oh, wow. Okay. Awesome.
and we have a location there that I've been waiting for 15 years to go, that you guys go, which is the Winchester Mystery House. Oh, yeah. And I felt that, this show started with lore and ghost stories and whatnot. And I don't know, this is the last season, so I was wondering if you guys have plans to either be close there?
So I went with Genevieve, who's also from the Bay Area, when our oldest son, who's now 7, was a year or so. And it was great. I took a little tour, and there were, 8 of us in the tour, and we're walking around the house, and we have a guide, and she's talking about this and that. And at first I was like, oh man, it's gonna be weird, like, they're gonna be fans, because I'm kind of a big deal. But no one really bothered me. And then when the tour was over, she was like, thank you guys so much for taking the tour. I hope you enjoyed it. And Jared and Genevieve, can I take a picture with you guys? I'm a huge fan. So I ended up taking a picture with the rest of them. I was like, yes. It's a cool story, yeah. And I'd love to go back. I haven't been in, but 7 years now, 6 years. Have you been? No. It's wild. It's a wild.
I don't want to go there because everyone's going to know me and want pictures with me.
You would think. Ryan Seacrest, what are you doing here?
Hey there. I just wanted to talk about an experience that I just had. I think it feels kind of important. Was just in a crowded Apple store at this outdoor kind of mall place. And I was in there for about 20 minutes, just trying to get help with something that ultimately they couldn't help me with. But I was in there, I was around a lot of people, and I had my mask on, like I should in there. And I know that there's some controversy about wearing masks. Some people think that we shouldn't be doing it because don't wear masks in school because children are not reading facial cues and they're not actually being socialized properly, and other, there are other complaints people have about it, encroaching on their freedom and all that. I think it's important that we wear masks so that we don't spread the virus, but it does have other unintended consequences. I, as many of you know, I worked for 12 years on a show on Supernatural, and over the time that I was on that show, I became increasingly recognizable. People would stop me on the street and they'd say, "Hey, hey, you're the Archangel Michael, aren't you? You're that from that show." And I say, "Well, it's Castiel, but yes, that's me. And would you like to take a picture with me or something?" And a lot of times they'd say, "No, I'm in a hurry, I can't." But having those interactions with those diehard fans, it kind of fueled me, and it fuels me. And it was important, if I don't have that, if I don't have strangers recognizing me on the street, what do I really have? And I just came out of this Apple store and was in there for 20 minutes, and no one recognized me. And I wouldn't be talking about this issue if it was just impacting me. I mean, I'd be talking about it some, but I wouldn't be talking about it as much, and I I wouldn't care about the issue as much. But it's not just me. This impacts hundreds of celebrities from around the world who are not getting recognized, even though they, may be recognizable without their masks on. So for us, for those of us celebrities who frankly deserve to be recognized when we go into an Apple store, hey guys, I want you to get vaccinated so we can take these masks off. Those guys, they didn't even recognize me, probably because the mask is down below my chin. And that, a lot of times, without being able to see the whole face, people have a hard time recognizing it. I'm looking in there's a lot of people in there. And because the mask is down around my chin, they're probably not recognizing me. Get vaxxed.